Thursday, another blessed and grateful day. As always, Shane, Talina, it's great to see you savages over there in the Carolinas. It's nothing but love and blessings over to you, fam. Love it, love it. So let's go ahead and get into it today, fam. As you can see, the topic is going to be how to go ahead and shift, how to go ahead and rewire the subconscious mind, right? A lot of life, when you start to really dig in and see what's happening with most people, is this very simple issue right here. Most of us, we think the same 60% of thoughts every day, just recycling them. And the problem is 80% of these thoughts most of the time happen to be negative, right? We all have life, we all have work, we all have family issues that go on. So if we're not changing the rewiring synaptic cycle of how we're constantly thinking on a daily basis, we're gonna keep feeling the same. Would you agree that if nothing changed, we're gonna keep thinking the same, that allows us to keep feeling the same emotions, that allows us to keep taking very similar action, which leads to results that we are very familiar with? This is literally the formula. But Jim Rohn, he talks about, even Bob Proctor, in order to grow, would you agree that in order to grow, it takes thinking thoughts that we haven't thought, to feel emotions that we haven't been feeling, to go ahead and finally step into that action? Because when we're feeling good, when we're feeling confident, are we taking more or are we taking less action? We're taking more. And what happens when we're taking more action? More action leads to more results. So isn't it funny enough how it always goes back? The root of everything is truly the acronym for TEAR: thoughts, emotions, actions, and leading to results. So number one, when it comes to this 90-day sprint, that's where I want to start with everybody. Where is everybody's thoughts when we're waking up? Are we waking up excited every day? Or is today just another Thursday? Another Thursday. I gotta go to work. I guess we'll see what happens today. That's waking up drifting. There's no thinking involved in that. But you see, the person that wakes up and they're organized, they have a schedule, they're disciplined, they know exactly where they're going day in and day out with a to-do list. This is where life begins to get very fun, where you start to really open up the right people, places, and opportunities into our life. This is truly where the magic happens. It takes time to break habits. Yes, it absolutely does. That's why they say it takes 21 days to start changing the habits, and it takes 90 days to absolutely change and shift our lifestyle. So when we're talking about reprogram, you're like, well, D, how do I reprogram my mind? How do I get back into that abundant version of myself? Well, I'm gonna give everybody a couple tips for the day. Y'all ready? Here we go. How do we reprogram the subconscious mind? I'm gonna give you about 5 key steps to go ahead and apply right here, right now for today. Number one is listening to audios every day. I cut out 80% of the music that I listen to, and I change that with audios. So 80% audios, 20% music. I'm actually getting poured on right now. We're gonna keep it going. That's number one, it's audios. Number two is journaling. Writing our goals down every single day. Shout out to Shane. Shane's been freaking writing his goals down over 1,000+ days. Writing the feeling, making it plain, so those that see it can pick it up and run with it. Okay, so number one is what are the music that we're listening to? Number two is journaling, right? Being able to really 1,203 days, absolute freaking savage. I love it. You see, journaling, when we get into the journal, this takes thinking. This takes effort to really go ahead and put down our goals and to step into them and to feel them as if it's already done, okay? That's number two, to go ahead and rewire the mind. Number three is who are we associating with every day? Who are we listening to, right? Comes from Kevin Trudeau. Who are we listening to on a daily basis? Are we listening to just our family? Are we listening to just our friends? Because, hey, odds are misery loves company. So whether it be family, whether it be friends, there's a very high chance there's a lot of negativity in these conversations. So if we're not listening to mentors, if we're not around like-minded people, guess what? The frequency is going to drop. You see, a lot of us, we're kind of like we're like a thermostat, right? We kind of blend into the room. You see, if we're at 90-degree temperature right now, and I go to this person's house, and they're all vibrating at 60 degrees 70 degrees. You know what's going to happen to mine? My degrees are going to most of the time shift lower towards theirs, towards 65, towards 70 degrees. But the same thing happens on the opposite spectrum. You start getting around those that are vibrating at a higher level. Brian Carter just texted me this morning. How is the 90-day run going? How is the team doing? That's the circle. He's vibrating at 95 freaking temperature. So staying around that, there's no way that I'm not going to increase my temperature as well. Okay, so proximity is huge. Staying around the fire. If you guys have not been watching Mr. Brian Carruthers' posts, go check out his Facebook. They just got back from a dream trip in Kildare, Ireland. One of the top 5 most beautiful destinations in the world that you can go to. So if you need a little bit of inspiration, this is the frequency that some people on, while others are just winging it every day. So again, who are we listening to? Who are we around? Who are we seeing on a daily basis? That's number 3. All right, number 4, how to go ahead and rewire the mind. Number 4 is going to be getting out in nature, moving, exercising. Well, I don't care if you guys go take a walk. I don't care if you go to the gym. I don't care if you go to the park, you go to the beach, whatever that is, get in a little bit of movement. You know, Tony Robbins said there's 3 things that can shift any one of our frequencies right now. Number 1 is focus. What are we focusing on? Every day we focusing on lack or joy. Number 2 is language. What's the language that we're speaking? Are we speaking lack? Or are we speaking abundance? But number 3, the third piece they talked about in the triangle, is physiology. Motion creates emotion. So if you've been feeling stagnant lately, ask yourself this: have I been still? Have I been sitting inside the house all day? Have I just been going to work and coming back home to do nothing? You see, water that's sitting for too long gets moldy, gets stinky, gets stagnant. So that's number 4. Get a little bit of motion, get a little bit of movement inside of life. I'm telling you, nature is one of the most healing properties that exists, and it's God-given. So that's number 4. Number 5, to go ahead and rewire the mind is this: start doing things that feel a little bit uncomfortable. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's like going to the gym. The beginning sucks. I'm actually in that stage right now. It's been months since I've been in the gym, been going off and on, but I've been traveling. We've been super busy, we've been locked in. But I'm like, you know what? I really need to squeeze in the gym. I've been feeling stagnant. I've been feeling like that moldy water that's sitting so locked in on a chair for hours. I need to move. So this is something that I'm working on, is getting out, getting to the gym, getting the body moving. But I know this: you don't always feel like going to the gym at the beginning. The beginning is really tough to get the ball rolling. But how many of you guys have ever had enough time off from the gym, and then you get back in there and you start to get in a rhythm? You start to get in emotion, and eventually you feel weird not going to the gym because it's just not like you. Drop a 5 down below if you guys have ever been in that state. If you guys have ever been to that point. The beginning's tough, but you start to get in a rhythm. It could be with anything in life, maybe not even the gym. But you start to go ahead and build a routine, build your habits, and then that's your new lifestyle. That becomes the new normal. So here's the deal: you're not always gonna feel like it, but I can tell you right now, when you go do it and you get it done, you feel so much more accomplished, so much more fulfilled. Because you see, what happens with anxiety? Anxiety comes from saying things in our head that we're going to do and not following through and doing it. That's where anxiety comes from. That's where procrastination comes from. And you do that long enough, eventually it starts to build, or we have this huge pile that seems impossible to take care of. And to handle that, it's called eat that frog. Bite off one big piece that we're afraid to take off for today, and do that daily and watch it compound. So these are things I'm doing, family. Some 5 keys to go ahead and put into perspective, into action for today, to rewire the mind back to the highest version of ourselves. So I got your back, fam. Anything you guys need, I'm running along the way every step with you. I got your back. Remember, we can be, do, and have anything. We can hold it in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. Have a blessed day. I'm shooting love over to each and every one of you, and let's go out and turn these dreams into reality.